Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, I'm going to be vibe checking every single Wizard101 world. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to be ranking them based on their vibes, all the way from ultimate vibe to they just didn't pass the vibe check. Now, I wouldn't be genuine if I didn't give credit to where credit's due. So where did I find this idea? Well, I found this idea from this amazing man named Squid. He's a 10 subscriber YouTuber. All right, I'm going to link him in the description. I want him to reach like at least 50 from this video. Most likely 100, all right? So go subscribe to him. I'm leaving at the top of the comments, all right? At least 50. If he's not there yet, it's your moral obligation to subscribe to him. So there we go. Has a nice accent. I like it. So let's vibe check the Wizard101 worlds. All right. First, we're going to go for Wizard City. Now this, I would say, is pretty high on the vibe check list, right? You get in the game. You know, actually, I'm going to move this up to ultimate vibe. It's realistically, if you're playing Wizard101, this is going to be what you expect. It's got the mystical, it's got the magical, and it's got wizards. Also, sorry if I'm a bit off this video. I did just get my COVID vaccine. I don't know if that... My second dose. I don't know if that does anything, but my arm is numb. So that's good. Anyways. Wizard City. Definitely the ultimate vibe. I mean, it's Wizard City. If we're talking about vibes in Wizard101 and the vibe checks, this has to be up there. Because it's just Wizard City. You got Bartleby, who's literally there. I mean, you get to pick what school you are, each professor. It's just so many memories. Sick. Not gonna lie. All right. Crocotopia, I'm putting this down here in the E tier for two reasons. One, I don't like sand. It's rough, coarse, and irritating, and it gets everywhere. All right? And it sucks. And also, I don't like slavery. And that world has slavery. Two things that are not vibing. So I'm putting it down in E tier where it belongs. Grizzlheim and Wintertusk, this is pretty up there, I'd say, in the vibes. Now, if you're wondering how I'm ranking these, by the way, it's just the first thing that comes to mind. Grizzlheim and Wintertusk, I do like snowy areas. It looks nice. I've always liked it. I think one of my favorite games of all time is Skyrim. So, honestly, this kind of reminds me of Skyrim. So, I give it a good vibe. It's there. Wisteria, it just didn't pass. It's literally just Wizard City, but worse. Also, everyone there is just kind of a dick. Didn't pass the vibe check. Aquila, I can vibe with this. I'll give it an A. Realistically, for me, it's just, it has that epic music. It's got the epic boss battles. Everything about it. It's just really cool. It's not the ultimate vibe as like Wizard City is, but it's definitely up there. I'd give it that. Marley Bone, I'm going to give it C tier for two reasons. One, it's kind of dull looking. Two, it has a lot of British people there, and that kind of bothers me sometimes. Realistically, it shows every aspect of British people that I don't like, so I'm going to put it there. Mushu, now this one, it's obviously one of my favorite worlds. I've mentioned it multiple times. But I'm not going to put it in the ultimate vibe tier for one reason alone is, man, do you have to walk a lot? And my feet do not appreciate walking. Not going to lie. So I'm going to put that in the B tier where it belongs. Dragonspire, this, I kind of vibe with this. I'm going into A. Now, the reason for that is you're like, that's weird. It's Dragonspire. Man, have you seen Dragonspire? There's badass volcanoes, there's lava everywhere, there's a dragon the size of the entire world. If you don't vibe with that, there's something wrong with you. Next is Celestia. It's an underwater level. I'm putting into... It's a water level with British people in it. Disgusting. I'm putting into didn't pass the vibe check because it's just disgusting. Zafaria. I'll put this into, like, D tier. I think it's a really cool world. It has a really cool story. It's actually one of my favorite representations of a world. But, this is a hefty but, it's just kind of boring. And I don't vibe with boring. So I'm putting it into D tier. Avalon, I'm putting this in the ultimate vibe category. Now you're probably like, what? Avalon, huh? it's what's not to like about it? You have knights, you have squires, you have wizards. I mean, you see Merle Ambrose's backstory and where he came from. It mirrors King Arthur and Merlin with King Artorias and Merle. Pretty sick, not gonna lie. Also, you fight dragons. You're just kind of a badass. It's everything you'd want in a world. So I'm putting it up there. Azteca. This does not pass the vibe check. Now, I've said in the past that Azteca's not as bad as people make it out to be, and that's still true. But does that mean it passes my vibe check? No, no. It's still long, it's still agonizingly boring, and somewhat difficult in a few places. It didn't pass the vibe check. Chrysalis. Now, this depends on what part of Chrysalis, right? There's part 1, which is long, agonizing, and boring, which would not pass my vibe check. But then there's part 2, which is pretty epic, has some cool boss fights, and has some sexy looking scenery, which would definitely pass my vibe check. So I'm going to give it like a solid C tier for mixed opinions, all right? It's kind of a vibe, but only from the later half. Polaris is the ultimate vibe. I mean, Vive la Revolution, you know, all that kind of stuff. Overthrowing the monarchy and just becoming what we're meant to be. Overthrowing our oppressors, breaking our chains, seizing the means of wizardry. That's a vibe I can vibe with. Ultimate vibe. Mirage. I actually really like this world. I always have, and I really vibe with it. I'm putting it up into A tier for a lot of reasons. Now, I know I said I don't like sand, but I can overlook that because honestly, it's kind of sick, right? You fight Xerxes. You have Ozymandias, a past king, following you around who's a skull. That's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And then you fight Grandfather Spider in the sands of time. He's trying to reverse time itself and destroy everything. That's just sick. I can't put it anywhere other than right there. Imperia. Mixed feelings about this. I'm not gonna say it didn't pass my vibe check, but it's kind of low in my vibe. Now you may be wondering why. I don't think that Imperia is actually generally a bad world. I think the main issue I have with it is that it's kind of boring in a few places. Also, the fact that there's just a lot of enemies that I dislike. Like, you know what? Actually, I'm moving it up a full place because of Khan. Because I just remembered Khan exists, and I vibe with Khan. He's actually like my kindred spirit, if you will. So I'm going to put it in the C tier. The Catacombs, that doesn't pass the vibe check. That's just farming for gear. That's gross. Caramel. I do like candy. I do like overthrowing capitalism. I'm going to put it up into A tier. I think I vibe a lot with that world, actually. It's like Polaris, but more the actual economic part of overthrowing the oppressors than the social part of it. Finally, we have the Tale of Four Dungeons. Obviously, it depends on which ones, but generally, I would just say that they're like C tier. Some of them pass, some of them don't. Like, I'd say Darkmoor is pretty high on the vibe. Zigzag's pretty high on the vibe. Kemelung Village is really low on the vibe. I'd even put Barkingham Palace close to the ultimate vibe level. Excuse me. Sorry, I burped into the microphone. That's very uncouth of me. You know what? That's me vibe checking all the Wizard101 worlds, though. As I said, please go subscribe to him. I want to make someone's day, right? I want to make someone's day because I haven't had the best last few days, in case you're curious. So I want to make someone's day. Go make Pyrosquid's day, please. Thank you. So if you enjoyed, drop a like at the sub button. I appreciate all the support recently. Just hit 2K. That's kind of crazy. I'm about to hit 2.1K. You guys are nuts. Kind of nutty. Not gonna lie. So I'll see you next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.